morning and welcome to Loughborough University, host of this year's BUCS National Finals. We are here for a matchup between the Brunel Burners and the Northumbria Mustangs. I'm Sean Endicott. I am going to be your commentator for today's opening game. We have three finals today here for BUCS. Very exciting, spanning across multiple divisions. Not quite four because too many for one day, so I believe we have one more final coming up in the uni game in a week and a half or so, up to 2 weeks. But yeah, today's matchup is going to be between the Brunel Burners and the Northumbria Mustangs. A very exciting time for all these players. It's an absolutely stunning day here in Loughborough. We're on the rugby pitch. For those familiar with the campus, maybe you've seen different broadcasts and games here throughout the years. They got multiple pitches. This one's the lovely rugby pitch marked up with our beautiful American football markings. We'll show you that in a moment. I believe the teams are going to run out here in just a couple of minutes. I'm here all by my lonesome for the first game, so hopefully you like American accents because that's all you're going to be hearing for the next 2.5 hours or so, apart from the field sound and the referee microphones. Referees trotting out onto the field. You see the officials going from left to right, and here we have those markings. We're in the yellow markings today, so if you're looking for sidelines, out of bounds, hash marks, that sort of thing, looking for the yellow. I believe white is the rugby pitches, and you get to see the fun. That's why some of the lines have to be diagonal so they don't overlap entirely with the other sports markings. Just off the edge of your screen to the right, we have the officials standing in line. I don't think it's a moment of silence or anything. I think they're just lining up, getting ready. We have I think we have a full crew today. I believe it's an 8-man crew. That's more than some Division I college games and NFL games get over in the States. So Brunel coming in here, a strong team. Obviously, both these teams strong being in this place. Brunel's offense led by Christian Zielinski. I believe he is a former UWE player. He's from California. And facing off against him will be the Northumbria Mustangs. They are getting ready with they have a flag up front. I don't have a roster for the Mustangs, I believe. If anyone's from the Mustangs club, feel free to send me that. We'll get going, get that up here. So here are the Northumbria Mustangs, champions of their half of the playoff bracket, as they jog out here, travel down from up north into sunny Loughborough. See large squad dressing in black on black today, accented by the white stripes. As they huddle up, you can see the excitement. You can feel it when you're on the pitch. Obviously, these finals, it's so exciting for all these players. Northumbria is coming in back-to-back years of promotions. That's probably their biggest claim to fame right now. It's just absolutely skyrocketed in the British and American football game. I know some of their players. I've talked to them several times leading up to this game and throughout the year. And it's definitely been a year of growth, building strength on strength as well. Like I said, they have 2 promotions in a row, I believe. So it's been not just a year, but a span of years, and they're looking to cap things off with a victory. I believe we hear some new intro music, so that is our cue for the other team. I think they're getting ready as Northumbria span across their entire sideline, shoulder to shoulder, flag waving above their head. Nothing between them and a final except for the Brunel Burners. And the Brunel Burners have a lot to say about it. They got a powerful offense. They got a full squad, and they're ready to go. We'll see them in a moment. Today's kickoff's at about 10:30, so if you're still making a cup of tea, getting your breakfast ready, you still have some time. But kickoff is going to be in about 6 minutes. They'll get pretty quickly into that. If you're used to NFL broadcasts, NCAA broadcasts, where there's kind of a lot of faffing around and songs and anthems and things. As fun as that is, that's not generally the style here. I fully expect the second team to trot on the field to do handshakes, a coin flip, and then they'll get started. It'll be here before you know it. Brunel Burners coming up the stairs. They're in their iconic yellowish gold jerseys. I'm just going to call it yellow today. It's a canary yellow. It looks absolutely brilliant in the sunlight as we see their number 0 trotting out onto the field. Now, my roster is admittedly in positional order, so I don't have number 0 right in front of me at the moment. But he's trotting out as we see these Brunel burners, yellow on blue, sprinting out to sparklers on each side of them, to the left and the right. They sprint past the cameras. They sprint onto the field and across to face the Northumbria Mustangs. Burners have a pretty full squad today. I'd be guessing around 40 folks. Well, that's just players, of course. Coachings and other staff members expanding that pretty significantly. Both sidelines are going to be quite full along this pitch here at Loughborough University. Loughborough, a nice central location for these two teams, at least relatively speaking. As we see Brunel, that man right there on your screen, gave me these wonderful sheets with fun facts, including tackles for losses for players, where they've played before. I don't know if I have any like fun facts. Oh, here we go. They have one player who came back in the playoffs from what was feared to be a career-ending injury, so hopefully we'll see him healthy and strong. That's Raheem Ashudi. So there's going to be quite a few facts coming in for that Brunel Burners side. And like I said, hopefully get that Northumbria Mustangs roster as soon as possible. Let this breathe a little bit as we have flags waving. Northumbria loves their flags, apparently. They got 2 of them. You can see that big Northumbria University and then the Newcastle subheading. Announcers are going through opening proceedings. The national anthem coming on right now. They said they go through this pretty quickly here in the UK, so it's time to savor it. These last memories before everything goes live. With a round of applause from both sides, the officials get ready for a coin toss and the captains to come out. Officials here at midfield waiting for the captains to come up. Northumbria organizing the troops. One of the things you practice the least here. Four captains coming in for the Northumbria Mustangs. Stern faces as they approach Team Brunel. Handshakes real quick and then a coin toss for this national final.
Good morning, gentlemen. Congratulations on making it to the National Trophy final. This is the coin we're going to use for the coin toss. The head is the head, and the 2 is the tail. It's the tail and the head. Northumbria, the designated visiting team for the game. What is your call, sir? Heads. His call was? His was heads. Heads was called. And it's a tail. You've won the toss? I'd like to defer. Second half. Brunel have won the toss, deferred their option to the second half. You're going to take the ball, yeah? Okay, you're going to be kicking off.
So Brunel have deferred to the second half after winning the toss.
The backs to the goal, you'll be defending.
as these
Northumbria
teams
have
pick
first
the
half
goals
option
they're going to
and will
defend,
receive.
the uprights,
Have a good game.
those field goal posts pointing in this bright sun. Very little wind today. I don't think we'll see anything affecting kicking games. Some really big armed quarterbacks in this matchup as well, so definitely expect some throwing, some deep passes. And like I said, you really couldn't pick a better day weather-wise. It's, you know, obviously BUCS Big Wednesday, but we're on Tuesday, so we get the full day of fun in the sun leading up here, and weather. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can't express to you guys how fun it is to be on a sideline during a final. Anyone watching here, it's just such a privilege. It's what a way to end the year. What more could you ask for than playing in the final game of the year? This is the Division I national final, and there's so many emotions going through, and you get those little nervous ticks and jitters, and then all of a sudden that kick goes up in the air and that all goes away, and it's time to hit someone in another colored jersey. Here are the Burners lining up. The rather modern, fashionable undershirts. I know that's all the trend in the NCAA these days. I'm not sure which team selected Let's Let the Bodies Hit the Floor as their warm-up song. So we'll have to see who lives up to that name and if they've picked the right one with good reason. Hey, that's me. Got my name on screen. Yeah, that's my head on a few socials, I believe. Kicking up, vertical, straight up and down, no left or right lean for this kicker as he tries to play with that kicking tee. Let me get that perfectly vertical up right now. They're in a bunch right now. We'll see when they fan out. Get a play call on a kickoff, always nice to see. And there is the ball. It's too upright, my friend. You got to lean that back a little bit on those flat tees. Yeah, there you go. Been there before, mate. That looks like the cross is lined up. We're good to go. Make sure the lace is in the right direction. That's the key with those tees. Got to line them up, get the bottom of the ball down. All right, joking aside, Brunel Burners kicking from right to left to open up the BUCS Division I National Final, and that's a high, deep kick over the head of the returners and bounces into the end zone. So that's going to be a touchback for Northumbria starting on offense. This Mustangs offense looking to get points on the board early. Can hear some echoes of a defensive chant coming from the Burners sideline. Mustangs, a little bit of a bobbled snap, quick pass out to the flat. That's going to be caught, and a quick tackle for Brunel. So trying to settle in your nerves. These first 10 plays are key. Most offenses come in with a game plan, first 10 plays either written down or at least scripted in their heads. They want to go to their bread and butter, and they want to set things up for later in the game. I have a team sheet here for the, let's see, I think I have Northumbria coming in, so that'll help me out in a bit. As we see running back, bottom of your screen, a handoff, good blocking up the middle. Linebackers shut that down a little bit. So here's the Northumbria Mustangs roster. Sorry about the delay on that. I do have a printer up here in the office, so we got that sent over to us by, I believe, the officials. Really appreciate that. Look at the size of that offensive line. That's what you love to see if you are a quarterback. Big number 65, John Stubley, up there, trotting up. You can see him in his Mustang logo on the side of his helmet as he grabs the snap. Get that ball ready. There's going to be a QB sweep to the right. Doesn't quite have the blocking in the open field. So I believe their quarterback today is Aaron O'Coin, star quarterback for the Mustangs. He had a bit of a sweep to the right. And unfortunately, we have an injury on the field. Hopefully nothing too serious. Well, as we have a bit of a break, let me go through the Northumbria coaching staff. Admittedly, these just say coach. They don't tell me if it's a head coach or not. But we have Pete Nickel, Janice Ledger, Lee Davidson, and Joe Astles as the coaches. They have a huge sideline assistant support staff as well in various roles, and some of them are on the pitch now helping out, making sure that we're okay. That's number 10 on the field, my old friend Alex Timmons. Actually played for me for quite a while when I was his coach at under-19s, and it's been so fun to watch him progress over the years. I hope he's okay. His brother Joe is vice president of the club. I saw him pre-game as well. And Alex is up and walking off under his own powers. That's Timmons. I'd imagine the Timmons family tuning in today with 2 sons on the team. How you doing? Good to see you again. And again, you can't even see going behind the size of this line. They just got to get a few blocks. That wide run did not have the blocking on the last play. Burners have 4 men with their hands in the dirt, 2 on the outside edges for this punt. Low snap off the ground, gets it off, kicks it a little bit left. And that's not a particularly long punt, and the bounce makes it a bit worse. Ultimately, it's going to net them about 7 yards on the punt. That's not what you want if you're the Mustangs.
Inside Northumbria territory, first down and around about 40 yards out. Opportunity for Brunel to register the game's first score. It's 0-0 after 2 minutes here.
Good starting position for the Burners.
Jamal, come sit on the table. All right, fellas, hey, heads in, stop off it, okay?
Now their number 3 is, let's see here, Christian Zielinski. 10 touchdowns in the playoffs already for Zielinski, and he is in the gun. Handoff up the middle, little bit of blocking, gets 2 or 3 yards. Nice start. Now they have their running back set straight behind the quarterback, about 2 yards back. That opens up a few reads and different options.
With a free safety, right? We don't want it, okay? We've always played trips with Washington. That's what we're going to do, okay? We check it over when they come out in that bunch package. Whoever it's on of 10 or 44, he's always running the shallow route or a 5-yard hitch. The other 2 are deep.
Team Brunel across his back. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Solo back, about 4 yards behind him. Motion. Fake handoff with the lead block, easy read, and that's going to be a pitch and catch down to the ground for a gain of about 4 or 5. And that is number, let's see here, that's number 14. That's J.O. Kamara. Kamara with an easy catch. Could not find his footing, unfortunately. In our league, we use college rules, as that overlaps the most with what we're trying to do in our league here. So once you hit the ground, you are down. You don't have to be tagged. That's a safety thing as well. Big offensive line. I'd run it behind number 77, Justice Sokolo, if I was OC here, and it looks like they might do just that. They got a trips bunch to the left of your screen. Running back flips from left to right. Let's see if he uses that open field. Handoff, cuts back up there, runs right behind a hole, cleared out, and as I said, Okolo with a good down block on that play. Some nice solid push from the front. Northumbria with their heels now in their own red zone defending. I believe David Pinto is now in the backfield for the Burners. In that running back offset, they're in a bunch formation, this time on the right. Running back flips again. Motion across, trying to confuse the Northumbria defense. Good open field block by a receiver blocking in. Unfortunately, a helmet has come off. Hopefully that was just a loose strap and not a serious injury. As he jogs off, looks like he's fine. A lot of motion there by the Burners, trying to flip things around. You got to change the formation one side to the other between two plays.
Holding offense number 57. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
So that is a holding for the Burners, number 57. That's Emmanuel Eisen. Sorry to call you out, buddy. I know offensive line, they only get called when it's a penalty. I'll try to find some good plays that you do throughout the game and highlight that as well. I played O-line myself, so I know we often don't get called out for the good stuff, only the holds. But that is what happened on the last play. Two receivers up top. Under center this time. Clean snap, fake run up the middle, and that's going to be a throw on an out route, and that's enough for a good gain. Gain back all the penalty yards and enough for a first down. Under center game, always great to see, near and dear to my heart, and I think a lot of our viewers harken back to the days of a quarterback being under center. All the coaches going, oh, look at this old school football, but then it turns into a modern passing attack. So you love to see that mixture of the two. Northumbria now with their heels along the 7-yard line, trying to defend this drive for the Brunel Burners in the BUCS National Final for Division I. Under center again is Zielinski. Fullback insert, run up the middle, and a great job by the Northumbria front. Number 44 with the tackle. That is, let's see here, I'm trying to get myself familiar. That's Michael Bougain. Managed to squeeze his way through two offensive linemen and that insert block and make a tackle right up the middle. Unfortunately, an injury for the Burners. Cody Braithwaite on the ground right now being tended to as both teams go to their respective sidelines. Hopefully everything all right in that injury front. Here we have the Burners on the sideline trying to gather up the troops. Say, hey, let's get this in there. You get that first point on the board. It kind of gives you a nice breathing room, a little bit of sigh of relief. They've tried a few different formations. They've had good luck. I think they have a pretty versatile offense from what I've seen on tape and today. Currently 0-0. Almost midway through the first quarter. With games like this, it's a bit like life. The days go by like weeks, the weeks go by like months, but the years, they sneak up on you as well. You know, you sit here and you go, oh, we're halfway through the first already. We've only bounced back and forth. Under center, Zielinski. Fullback to his right, running back about 6 yards back. Motion. Follows that lead block. Gets hit in the backfield, dragged down from behind. That's Michael Bougain again for Northumbria. That's 2 plays in a row in the red zone. Grabbing the back of the jersey and pulling him down. Unfortunately, it looks like another injury, but he's gotten up, limping around. If they have to stop the clock when you're injured, you have to come off the field. But if you get up quickly like that, then you're cleared for the next play as long as you're safe and otherwise healthy. Brunel now 3rd down. Trying to get points on the board early in this national final. We've seen motion on just about every play. Let's see if they go back to it. Drops back, looks to his right. He's got a man in the deep corner. It's going to be a high ball, and that's off the fingertips. Off the fingertips of Cheo Kamara. I don't think they were quite on the same page in terms of the angle of that corner route. It looked like one of them was aiming a little bit more for the pylon. One was trying to sneak past the second defender, and they ended up not quite on the same page. 4th down, going for a kicker, the Burners. Kicking game in the UK, always interesting to watch. Short drop back. It's just like a little hook kick. And that's going to be good to get 3 points on the board for the Burners. I admit I have not seen kicking footwork like that, but it got the ball up in the air very quickly. And that's very important in this league, I think. It's a little more experience rushing. That's not a specific team thing. That's
Offside,
just in general.
defense number 44. The penalty is declined. The score is good.
Well, after 2 plays for Stop Spugane gets a flag there, but it won't go down on the stat sheet because it was declined. Score for the Burners up 3-0. Over halfway through the first quarter of this Division I national final at Loughborough University. Hosting the BUCS Championship Series. We have 3 different finals today, so make sure you tune in throughout the day.
Lineman, sit down. Lineman, sit down. Have the whiteboard. We got the whiteboard?
You can hear the sidelines trying to make some adjustments.
All right, okay.
They're looking for a whiteboard right now. I admit that's all I've heard, and that's all I would tell you if I heard anything else anyway. Well, I'm in the YouTube comments now on the BUCS channel, so if you want to chime in, you got some information. Or if you just want to tell us where you're watching from, as Brunel kicks from right to left. That's a high, booming kick. And that is going to be returned on his heels on the 1, running up the middle with the lead block. Cuts it up, tries to find some blockers. None there to speak of at the 26 on the Mustangs for their next drive. So as I said, it's me by my lonesome on the broadcast today, so I'd love to hear from the booth. I'd love to get some comments here from YouTube. Some people chiming in. I think we have someone from San Diego rooting for the Burners. I believe that's Dean from San Diego. We've got a lot of Brunel supporters messaging about Christian. That is an early morning. I believe he's from California. It's got to be just a ridiculous hour. And Northumbria, trips bunch to the bottom of your screen. Scrambles up the middle. Ocon trucks somebody. Gains for about 5.
Offense on me, offense on 3. 1, 2, 3, offense!
The Northumbria quarterback's also from America, from Colorado. Thank you, Alexander Cosgrove, in the comments. I hopefully have that pronunciation right as well. I've seen him all over Instagram, but they don't say his name. So I've seen him throughout the year, and he's obviously done very well. But Alcoin from Colorado, so that's an early morning for his family as well. As he takes this snap, looks to his right, quick pass out to the flat, and an open field tackle by the Burners. Louise Simon in on the stop. Christian Zielinski with some friends in Salt Lake City, Utah. And then another one from South Africa supporting the Burners. My goodness, what an international crowd. You have people from all over, different time zones, and at least 3 continents supporting the Burners right now. Northumbria getting to those comments. Ocon, 3 receivers up top, spread out. Low snap, looks over the middle, quick slant. Ooh, off the hands of the receiver, and then off the hands of a defender, but ultimately falling incomplete.
It'll be 4th down and short for Northumbria. And Northumbria have the big play, so it looks like they are going to go for it. Offense stays out in the field. 4th down.
I've gotten some photos sent in from my friends throughout Britball. Obviously, a lot of people are at work today. It's fun to see people sneaking during work or lectures. They're sitting there with the stream on. Low snap on a pooch kick downfield. Not going to have a lot of a return with that pooch kick on 4th down. Caught Brunel off guard, I think, a little bit with that unique formation. And the result of that is the punt can roll and roll. So it was a good punt, made even better by a nice roll and some strategy by the Mustangs to flip the field. Burners going to start another drive at around the 25.
And we're going to turn over on down over
Defense, rest of defense over here.
Just have a fan chiming in from Australia. So we're up to 4 continents, I believe, right now. Burners break the huddle with a clap. Up 3-0, looking to extend their lead. Easy to tell where they are with a Colo on the left side. Motion. Handoff up the middle with the pulling guard, and that's an excellent open field tackle by Northumbria's Abdul Aziz Bey. Bey with the open field tackle to stop that. If he didn't get that, that's a rather long day downfield. I think he was the last defender for about 20 yards, so a key tackle by the Mustang. Second down. Still about 10 to gain. Three receivers out to the field side on your left. That's going to be a false start on the running back. Well, they could have called that on a few people, but the running back's closest to the ref, so I suspect he'll get the call.
False start, offense, number 31. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So second and long coming up Brunel off the false start penalty.
Third down, second down due to the flag. In that trips formation again. Bit of an awkward snap, but he's taking it cleanly, and that's a screen pass, and he's got 2 players out in front. Oh, well, it's still a massive gain, but I think if you just sneak in behind your big O-line, you probably could have got a few extra yards, but I'm sure they'll take the nice gain.
It's just short of the first down, but it's
Third and short, third and maybe about 1. That screen game, I think you got to come back to that. They got some big mobile linemen, and they got some really shifty running backs. So here is Zielinski on 3rd and 1. Reading the defense. Spread formation, fake handoff, rolls out to his right. He's got some room to make some reads, but he's going to take it himself. Gets an open field block and a big first down following that giant block. Receiver did a good job keeping aware of what was going on, and Zielinski running it for the first down. First and 10 from the 35. Three receivers along the bottom of your screen. They love putting 3 out to the field side. That's the side with more space. Looks that way. Got a screen pass. Again, let's see if the receivers get some blocks. And they do get some open field blocking. Cut up field, take it outside. That's a nice gain. That play is a staple of trips formations. When you have 3 receivers on one side, you'll often have 2 be the blockers and throw a quick screen pass. If you watch the NFL, the Commanders did that with Terry McLaurin in the playoffs, I believe, against the Detroit Lions for a big gain. It basically comes down to 2v2 in a blocking drill, and then it's just can the ball carrier follow blocks. So it's a really solid play if you can get that pass out quickly, and that's what we saw. Northumbria did a good job to limit it to only 9 yards, but it's now second and short for the Burners. Approaching midfield. Fake screen, but then he goes back to it. And that's going to be a nice gain. It looks like they had a little pump fake to the screen to see if the defenders bit downfield. And I think everyone shifted back, so the QB just went, well, I'll just take what you give me. It's a first down for the Burners. BUCS is, BUCS is the, what is it, British University College Sport? Yeah, British University College Sport. Sorry about that. I just call it BUCS. Some people were asking in the comments what's it stand for. I had to double check. Here we have the Burners spread formation, 2 receivers on each side of the O-line. Dropping back, Zielinski, quick pass to the flat. Stiff arm by the receiver, who's then dragged down for a gain of 6. Brunel seems content to just take what the defense gives them.
That is the end of the first quarter.
And that's the end of the first quarter. So now Mustangs and Brunel will flip sides, but there's no change of possession or anything like that, like at the half. I understand some people are new to the sport here based on what we've seen in the comments, and that's wonderful to see. We love having people tune in. I'd imagine for a lot of people, this is probably one of the first streams that your friend or family member has been on. British American football is getting progressively more streamed. There's a lot of efforts throughout the UK to do that, but it's still not quite, every game being streamed for a lot of these teams. So if you're new to the sport, you have a question, you want to know what's a flat, why does he keep talking about it? Why is he obsessed with number 77 for the Burners? I'm happy to answer some questions. Okolo's a very large man. But they got a bunch of O-line. You can see there in that huddle. It's not small, and that's what you need if you want to get an offense moving down the field. Northumbria with some energy on their sidelines. I can feel a bit of buzz. Flag going there, waving high in the sun as they changed sides. Now they're going from left to right. On your screen, that's the Burners. Trips again. Now with that trips formation with a bunch, you get a lot of blockers. Got 8 men in the, not quite in the box, but 8 men near where the ball starts. Now they shift out of that, see how the defense adjusts. That gives Zielinski a chance to see if they're in zone or man on defense. Mustangs showing a too high shell. We'll see if they stick with it. And that's going to be a nice pass defense. Yeah, so a nice pass breakup by the Mustangs. Now that's number 21, Logan Arundel. Burners with a spread formation. Again, they love this 0 set with the running back right behind the quarterback. They've been there not quite all day, but pretty heavily throughout it on 3rd down. Zielinski, quick dart of a pass, but it gets knocked out. Now he's having himself a day. That is the Northumbria's number 44. Michael Bougain making himself an early case for best player Mustang so far on the day. Burners on 4th down. It looks like they're going to go for it. We'll have to see at their formation. Pooch kicks are always a thing. But as far as I can tell, they're just going to go in their standard offense. That's another quick dart and a completion. Oh, it's a bit of a high hit, but I think they're going to say that because the receiver was falling down, it wasn't intentional. Hopefully he's all right. He looks fine, but obviously you can't tell that from here. That's a great pass. Zielinski going back pretty much to the same passing concept from the bottom of your screen. Just managed to get a clean catch on there, and if you get hit right away, it's pretty hard to pull it in. So that time had a chance to get a 1st down. Burners still spreading it out. Mustangs still in that shell. Man in motion. And that's going to be a run along the outside. He's got some blockers, cuts it back in. That's a nice gain of about 6. Bringing 2nd and 4 or 5 for the Burners. Burners looking to extend the lead. At 3 points, obviously you'd prefer to be up by 3, but I before the half, I'm sure they would love to extend this as we enter the start of the second quarter. 25 yards or so from pay dirt, just a little longer. Under center, lead block, fake handoff, rollout. He's going to have a man open. That's a catch for the Burners. Oh, it's a fumble in the open field, and it looks like the Mustangs have recovered. It's going to depend. Now, that bag being thrown on the ground means that fumble happened in the field of play before the receiver got out of bounds. Well, the Burners are going to be kicking themselves. That's an absolutely perfect execution. You load everyone up in the box under center. You got a lead block and a fake run one way. Throw it to a guy peeling out. And then he drops it at the 1, obviously because of a big hit by Northumbria as well. So, yeah, you can see this with the play action set up to the left with the peeling receiver coming across the formation. Has it on the correct hand. I'm just going to see where we get that. Yeah, it just looked like a big hit. Let's see, that's number 14 for Northumbria. That's that can't be, is it? Aaron O'Coin? That's the quarterback making a forced fumble on defense. Or O'Coin? My goodness. Yeah, he's right there as quarterback. Forced the ball out, says, give me that. I'd like to run some more offense, please. 4 backs in the backfield. They're going to run it right up the middle. They don't get much. Now you're trying to just get a little room to work with. Your quarterback can't drop back all the way if you're on your own end zone because you run out of space. So the Mustangs lined up with 3 running backs in the backfield and a quarterback, and everybody just kind of pushed forward. So let's just get a little bit of breathing room, then we can call a more traditional play. Yeah, just had a commenter said Aaron plays both sides, so yeah, that's quite impressive. You force a fumble and then you run up the gut the next play. Spreading it out a bit more, trips formation for the Mustangs. He's going to have to get this off quick, and he does. Cannot drop it in the bucket. He had a guy open, but it would have had to be an up and down throw where you get over one defender and then land it before a second one, and just could not get that. If you're the Burners, you have to start thinking about play calls. You know, if you force a punt here when the Mustangs are inside their own 5, you can start playing for a block and say, well, at worst case, we'll still get good field position. But first things first, they got to stop this 3rd down. Low snap. O'Coin recovers it, rolls out to his right, looking downfield, and he's going to throw it. And that's incomplete. Looking again towards number 7, Ed Thompson cannot connect. So 4th down, and the punt, assuming they punt, is going to be from their own end zone. And this is going to be a little pooch kick, and that's a great kick. I mean, again, a fumbled punt. He keeps his knees off the ground, and he's going to be running it back a bit. This will be a big gain for the Burners, and he might, oh, not quite. He gets stopped at the last moment. I think he's going to be inside the 7-yard line. That's the Burners returner, Jomi Stewart Sinclair. Picking it up off the ground, that was dangerously close. If his knee was on the ground there, he would have had to stop. But I think he kept his knee about 2 inches off the grass. He can thank the grounds crew for that. Beautiful pitch today at Loughborough University. If that grass is a bit longer, that's probably a much smaller play for the Burners, who are now set up just outside the 5-yard line on offense. Question in the comment about is O'Coin the punter. Well, he's been punting so far with these. They line up in an offensive formation, and then he punts it. I don't know if they have a traditional punter, if they have that situation, but
Timeout,
he's
Brunel. First timeout.
Timeout by the Burners. O'Coin, his punts have been great, so I wouldn't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's certainly not what's stopping them from being on the board right now. So far, we've seen the Mustangs in a lot of zone looks on the back end. The two shell has been common, at least from what I can see from our angle. Trying to keep everything in front of them, kind of a bend, don't break, and then you take opportunities to make plays when they're presented. You can't do that as much in the red zone. Obviously, you can to some extent, but there's not as much space to work with for the offense, so sometimes defenses have to clamp down a little bit. Some of the gaps get a little bit smaller, and we'll get an early look here at the Mustangs. What are they going to do with 4 plays inside the 6? At least potentially. Yeah, people are picking on me. It's a 3G pitch. There's no actual grass here at Loughborough. Yeah, they did roll they rolled the pitch to make sure the 3G was nice and flat today. Under center. Out to his left, he's got, he had lead blocks for a moment, but they didn't last. Oh, missed tackle by Northumbria, and he's going to dive in and extend it. I think that might be a score, waiting for a signal. And I think you're going to say he's down at about the half-yard line. He could have been tackled for no gain, but the tackler was way too high. If you want to tackle a big running back like Blessings Savatwa, you're going to have to bring him down by his thighs. Oh, I'm sorry. The running back, I flipped my roster. David Pinto, sorry. David Pinto. And it looks like we have a bit of an injury for the Burners. Or no, they're just in a tush-push 4-point stance here. Everybody's going to drive forward. And that's going to be a flag. Now, there's about, from my angle, there's about 10 different people that flag could have been called on. It's when you have a tush push, which is fine, or brotherly shove, as the Philadelphia Eagles like to call it, and they've obviously won the Super Bowl with it being a big part of their play. You have to be lined up behind the ball, and everybody kind of crowds in. So there's a really good chance this was offsides. Play was short anyway.
Illegal formation, more than 4 in the backfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay second.
That's quite interesting. Let's go watch the replay. So the penalty is more than 4 players in the backfield. All right, now here's the missed tackle. You can see just really high, just tries to hit stick him, and that's what sets us up inside the 1-yard line. Now, when Brunel lined up for that tush push just up the middle, you're only allowed to have 4 players or fewer who are not on the line of scrimmage. And they had at least 5. I'm assuming it was 5. That's probably a tight end lining up off the line that causes something like that. They get a little confused. Yeah, you can see, I think that's number 33 on the left. Probably should have been. Yeah, here we go. Brunel, second down. And here's another flag, giving us some time. We can watch that replay again.
Delay of game.
Delay a game on the offense.
5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Yeah, I think we're going to look at this tush push up the middle because we're trying to determine the flag. You see, they're all just trying to gain some yards, but they got 5 men in the backfield. Yeah, can't do that. I think 33's just got to step up and move on the side. Got a clean snap, but yeah, not a lot of push. Penalty anyways, it doesn't especially matter, but if they go back to that, see if they correct it. Spread out with 3 receivers on the right, and that's the way that he's going to look. Zielinski's got a man open in the end zone. Touchdown, wide open, and a nice low and quick throw. That's Tyrese Retnam with the big catch. Striped helmet and undershirt hanging out. Look at him with all the swag, and I bet he feels it right now as he jogs back to the huddle. Music playing. I wonder if the teams get to pick their own celebration music, because you can hear that. Going for the extra point. Now, they made the first kick. And again, this kicker takes really quick approach, just kind of 2-step and kick it in there, and he gets it again. So that's Brunel up 10-0. Here we have this replay. You can see he quickly flips his feet, looks out to his left, keeps that ball nice and low for a completion. 3 receivers on that side puts a little bit of stress on the defense. You get 3 people not too close that one player can defend them, but close enough that it stresses them out. Brunel now up 10-0. We're approaching midway through the second quarter of this Division I national final. Brunel bunching up as they have done all game before a kickoff. They do their little turnaround. The kicker takes some steps, calls the play. He's going to have to turn around and be very disappointed. Oh, look at him. One of the top defenders today has been the kicking tees. We've seen 2 balls fall off kicking tees so far, and we're only in the second quarter. Some of you might be asking about kickoff rules. If you're in the British American game, there were some rule changes that are going to roll out soon, but those don't take effect for the BUCS season. They take effect in the summer league teams, and then they eventually will roll their way through. That's why kickoffs are exactly the same as they've been all year. And that high kick from left to right, there's going to be some room to return, and he's got at least 2 lead blockers. He's going to follow one up the middle. Just take what they give, get it past the 30. That's better starting field position than they've had so far. I like that big Northumbria red end, very reminiscent of the Cornhuskers of Nebraska.
Hey, offense, let's go. Ty, bring it forward. Offense. Ignore your fans. You can talk to them at half-time.
O'Karn looks to his right. Quick pass over the middle, and that's going to be a nice gain of about 4 to start us off on this drive. Here we have Northumbria huddling up, taking their time after a nice completion. They just want to get some points on the board here. 7 minutes is more than enough time for multiple drives, certainly enough time for one long drive. So the most important thing is just moving the ball down the field. Burners just rushing for this play. Run off tackle to the right, and that's going to be a first down for the Mustangs. So 2 solid plays for the Northumbria offense, and they keep those chains moving.
1, 2, 3, offense!
Let's get this.
Mustangs up to the line. 3 receivers in a bunch to the bottom of your screen. And that's going to be a read with the handoff this time, stopped in the backfield. Now there's a flag on that. We'll have to see which team that's on. As it stands, the play is for no gain. Officials have to have some conversations as we look to the white hat. Can't quite make out what he said. Let's see if the signal.
Personal foul, tripping, defense number 55, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Tripping is a relatively rare penalty. It is obviously illegal. It's a safety hazard. Intentional tripping is quite rare. I think a lot of the time people just kind of extend their legs, and without a replay, I can't say that. I will say tripping in the box is often someone's leg ends up where it shouldn't be, often not with malicious intent. But if you do trip someone, it's a big risk. Jet sweep across the motion, but then it's a handoff up the middle, and that's going to be a loss of 1. I don't think any of the Burners were fooled by that motion. Not much of a surprise that the Burners are used to motions. I imagine they practice against their own offense quite regularly, as you do. And the Burners offense has a ton of different motions, so they're going to be used to how their zones and man alignments adjust two different formations and alignments and motions. O'Coin, second down, drops back, looks deep, cannot make the connection, has not quite had the chemistry with his receivers that he's looking for. That's Ellis Green he was trying to reach, but the pass was just too high. Folks in the comments, I would love your opinion on which Mustangs logo you like the best. Do you like the Northumbria N, or do you like the Mustangs where it's an actual Mustang, like a horse? Because we've seen those both. Someone has broken their cleat, and I would probably, I mean, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would bet they don't have a backup set in their bag. So that's going to be difficult. Throw it to the guy with one shoe. Try to throw it to the guy. Oh, that's going to be picked off. I think he was expecting a whistle there. I'm not really sure why. He almost looked confused that he caught the ball. And now there's a flag. That's probably an illegal block. What a strange series of events. What a strange series of events. I honestly think the defender was surprised the ball bounced to him. Yeah, this is we had a broken boot, then we had a pass go off a defender's hands, then a defender surprised to catch it. Now we have a penalty.
After discussion, there is no foul on the play. The blocking question was legal. The result of the play is an interception. First down, Brunel.
Well, there you go. Brunel's going to have the ball. They're going to have pretty good field position right near the middle of the field. I honestly think the defender was surprised by that ball bouncing, because it did just go right off the hands of someone and then just, it didn't deflect left or right. Just kind of went to him, which is obviously a welcome gift. And then he took advantage of that gift with an extra run. Good job by the refs as well. We'd always much rather a good, correct call than they just try to hurry up the game. So it's nice to have a nice discussion. Spread receivers, 2 on each side for the Burners. Now that's a fumble in the backfield. He hit his running back. He's going to have to scramble. And he's going to gain quite a few yards. Bit of a broken play, but turns into a gain of 8 for the Burners. That's Zielinski making a play with his feet. 5 minutes left and some change in the second quarter, which means it's approaching halftime. Burners up 10-0, looking to extend their lead before the halftime break. 3 receivers up top, bunched pretty close. Now, they've gone to that side several. I bet you they're going to go to solo side at the bottom of your screen this time. He looks to run that way initially, but takes it up the middle. Going to be a gain of 3. Try to set up that bunch to one side, get the defense to bite, and then you go the other way. Great Britain helmet for Christian Zielinski. See that lion on the side of his head? Looks good emblazoned on a white helmet. And his running back behind him, David Pinto, set 3 yards behind the quarterback Zielinski. Going to that screen pass again. Does he have the blocking? Yes, he does. He's going to get in the open field. Keep moving forward, and that's a nice gain for the Burners. Just becomes a numbers game when you get those nice blocks from your receivers. If you have receivers who can block in the open field, the screen game's going to be there all day till they overcommit. And then your OC comes in with the changeup and does some sort of fake screen or a misdirection. So expect that later in the game. Trips up top this time, no bunch, spread out a bit. Solo receiver at the bottom of your screen, Thomas Hamilton, living on that bottom side right now, and that's going to be a run off tackle to the left. Great open field blocking. I'm really impressed by the receivers of the Brunel Burners so far. And Pinto doing a good job taking advantage of that blocking to move the ball down. It's about 3 yards to go for the first. Pinto subs out. Second down for the Burners. Little Kesha in the background. See the playlist here. I wonder who's DJing today. Man in motion for the Burners, bringing in a fullback. Fake handoff up the middle, going deep, looking, has a man. Just off the hands. It's not what you want, Kamara. It's a bit high, but you got to haul that in. Burners looking for third down. It's a long day here for Bucks. It's a beautiful day for British American football. We have 3 different national finals in a single day. As we approach halftime here, start clearing out your calendar. Tell your friends, family, your partner, you say, I'm sorry, it's a Bucks final day, American football Big Tuesday. I'm not free till tomorrow. Spread receiver by the Burners. Looks deep. He has the check down if he wants it, but goes for it all. And that's a brilliant pass defense. Good job, Northumbria Mustangs. That's Chris Jambi with that pass defense. Batted that ball away. Got to really air that out if you have a trail defender like that. You got to beat them downfield, make it throw where only the receiver can get it. That's easier said than done, of course. See him throwing here, good covering of ground, and then a nice hand extension. Got to make that pass just a little bit deeper to score on a deep throw like that. Now it's 4th down and about 3. Jaden Thompson in the backfield, 3 receivers to the right. Zielinski looking to his right. Another low. Oh, that's going to be picked off, and he's probably going to got room to run. That's O'Coin. He's running downfield. He's going to get chased from behind, but not before he gains a massive 30-yard run back. Now that's your starting quarterback who's now forced to fumble inside the 5 on defense and got an interception returning. He's definitely trying to put the team on his back. Here we have Zielinski looking to his left, goes back to the right, gets cut off by the Mustangs O'Coin, who runs it back. And a good job securing that as the defender tries to swipe it away, or the receiver made a defender, I should say. So under 2 minutes left, Northumbria can bring this into a 1-score game if they get some points on the board. That would be a massive momentum shift if they can handle that. Low snap, looks left, gonna throw it up that way. He's got a man, that's gonna be caught, and he drags a defender into the end zone. That's a touchdown. That's Mikey Robinson for the Northumbria Mustangs. And what a momentum shift. You have an interception by your starting quarterback, returns it 30 yards, and then the next play, he throws a touchdown to Robinson, who drags a man into the end zone. Now a 1-score game in this national final. Mustangs, another short set kicker here. It's only about 2 steps back, 1 step over. Bouncing snap off the ground. That's going to be blocked. And that is no good. So Brunel still up 10-6, but that is a 1-score game, and it's a big momentum shift. Here's the replay as he looks deep, keeps his head and chest high, a perfectly placed pass, and the defender just lost it a little bit. I don't think he tracked that ball while it was in the air because it ended up behind his back. Obviously a big-bodied receiver making that play as well. That's Robinson for the Mustangs. I must admit that someone's asked about the kicking. It's not traditional kicking form from what I've seen, but it has worked for Brunel. They've made 2 kicks. Interestingly enough, the Mustangs seem to have a good kickoff kicker. I think the field goal block they just need a little more push up front. Northumbria set out, overloading one side, only 4 tacklers on the right. Now that's going to be a high kick, but pretty short. It's going to bounce, high catch with a lead block. He's just got to find his man, but that's a lot of horizontal movement, and the Mustangs punish him for it. As a kick returner, you don't have much time to find a gap. It's follow, block, and go. He was looking for something to develop, and nothing opened up. Well, the Mustangs are trailing, but they've had some good performances so far. Michael Burgain had some big stops, and he's made plays on defense. Obviously, O'Coin coming in, and he's got an interception as a defender, a forced fumble as a defender, and a touchdown pass on offense. Also punts. So that's quite the day for him. Now the Burners looking to extend that lead. Screen pass, just a little too low at the knees of the intended receiver. That's Pinto they're going for again. Pinto, I think, was hurt earlier a little bit, but he's back now. And now we see a limping Stuart Sinclair for the Burners. Halftime might be coming at a good time for some of these players. Finals always a bit more intense than you're used to. People always go 110%, so the hits are a bit bigger. Low snap, looks at that screen. He doesn't have the blocking this time, just comes down to open field tackling. And we talked about it's a numbers game. You have to have 2-on-2 for blockers to potential tacklers to make a screen work. That time it was 1-on-3. It's not the ratio you want. Let's see if Northumbria can build on this. They've had 2 forced turnovers. One was at the very last moment before a score, which helps momentum in terms of stopping it. And the other one gained momentum in it. You just got to see if the Mustangs can convert that or if the Burners can go back to what's been working so far. Blitz by the Mustangs, up the middle, dragging his jersey, but cannot bring him down. Zielinski rolling out. He's going to get a first down. And he's going to get out of bounds and stop the clock as well. Just a bit of bookkeeping as you tune in. That clock at your screen, you might see it jump by 1 or 2 seconds. Apparently, Bluetooth technology has not made its way to BAFRA and broadcasts. That's something we're still missing. So what happens is we literally have someone with a clock. And when the referees say, check 120, 120, or they tell a coach the time, we update it. So we manually start and stop it to get as close as possible, and then we update it when the refs tell us the timings. Spread formation again, dropping back. He's got a quick pass if he wants it, but he's going deep, and he's going to get sacked. Look at that big number 63 for the Northumbria Mustangs. That is Tyler Miles getting a huge sack to stop any potential play. So first up, let's take a look at that run by Zielinski. He had to take a low snap, and he's looking around. Almost gets sacked in the backfield, but they did not bring him down, so he runs and scrambles his way for a first down. As we cut back to live action, after we see this tackle. We're going to see go right into the open snap as he's throwing a screen pass to the bottom of your screen. He does not have the blockers again. I think the Mustangs have made a little bit of an adjustment for that screen. The ratios have not been the same in terms of blockers to potential tacklers.
Timeout. Brunel, second timeout. 37 seconds.
Very much, Pete. 37 seconds remaining in the first half for Brunel Burners to try and manufacture something.
So with that timeout, we have 38 seconds on the clock. Burners at third down, probably not interested in giving the ball back to Northumbria, so it's 3rd and 3. They've had these checkdowns a few times where Zielinski kind of scrambles around a bit and he's looking for the deep ball, but then he has someone in the flat. And I think they might do that play combination again because it has been there throughout the day. Trying to draw those outside defenders back to help with the deep ball and then just take what the defense gives you and then try to get 1 or 2 more plays in this half. Bunch formation at the bottom. Now, they still haven't thrown a quick pass to that solo receiver yet, but he is looking that way. You can see him peeking left, peeking left, peeking left. That's where he looked initially, but he does. Oh, he's bobbled it. I don't think that would have been a gain anyway. It still would have been, yeah, wouldn't have been a first down yet. It's 4th and 13 now. So, I mean, they would have had to catch it in the flat and then gain some yards anyway, which it seemed like what their plan was, but number 10, he's turned before he fully caught the ball. Unfortunate for him. "32 seconds. Brunel's got to get this downfield if they want to punt it. They don't want to hand Northumbria a chance to take the lead before the half. Get them deep inside their own territory. That's the game plan. Delayed punt. He waited until his coverage could get downfield, and that's worked out for him. That's a high bounce and then grounded at the 20 by the Brunel Burners special teams. The Northumbria did score on a big pass. I'll be curious to see if they do that. No, they're not. They're just going to kneel it and live the fight in the second half. That's a quick kneel down. I think he might have snapped it too quickly. I think that's a penalty on Northumbria on the kneel down.
False start, offense, not all 11 players were set for a second. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Yeah, so all your players have to stop moving for 1 second unless they're in motion, moving horizontally, that is. So if you don't settle down and stay there, so just take your time. There you go. Again, these are the types of things you're probably more worried about plays that move forward. A kneel down you might not practice as much. I'm still confused on what's going on here. If there's timeouts being called or... All right, that's going to be halftime.
That is the end of the first half.
Took a little bit more discussion than I expected, but ultimately halftime. So the Brunel Burners are up 10-6 over the Northumbria Mustangs in the Division I National Championship, our first of 3 national finals today for BUCS.
Excited to see what both teams have in store for us towards the end of this one. The BUCS Big Wednesday trophy final reaches half-time. It's Northumbria 6 out 10.
So here we have a couple highlights from the first half before we go into halftime, and this is going to be the first touchdown of the day, I believe. With that low snap, he looks out to his right, and he found a man wide open in the front of the end zone. That was a nice grab by Tyrese Retnam. This is the Northumbria touchdown that brought this back into a one-score game. A deep pass by O'Coin right after he had gotten an interception and returned it 30 yards himself, setting up that score. Add in a field goal early on in the game for the Brunel Burners, and that's how we have ended up here at 10-6. Now, as we head into halftime, I want to thank our sponsor for the day, Football America. Very close to this specific spot. Football America, great place to pick up all your American football goods, equipment, footballs, team wear, everything. I go there quite often. I've been there several times. In fact, I'm going there later this week. So a big fan of Football America, and again, thank you for sponsoring us. During halftime, the teams can go back into their own changing rooms, take a little bit of halftime, usually 15 to 20 minutes, depending on it, so you have enough time to make yourself a cup of tea. And we're going to have I just got confirmation it's a 20-minute halftime, so that's a good opportunity for you to go get a drink, maybe make yourself some lunch, a little early scran, and have a good break. We'll see you all in about 20 minutes.
Football America UK, your ultimate destination for all things American football. Visit our Midlands-based showroom to try on and get fitted for the latest gear. Or shop online for a huge range of equipment, NFL merchandise, and personalized teamwear stores. Plus, with Klarna, ClearPay, and PayPal Pay in 3, getting the gear you need has never been easier. Get game ready with Football America UK, in-store or online at footballamerica.co.uk.
Glasses of milk for everyone all around afterwards, I think, and you should be milking every moment, and that's what we're going to introduce. Milk Every Moment, a new campaign to help students understand the benefit of milk on their sporting performance. An affordable, natural, versatile and widely available choice after exercise. Milk provides a whole host of nutrients, vitamins and minerals to help fuel your workouts. A great option if you are on a budget.
What's your favourite recipe to make using milk?
Mac and cheese. I was going to go with strawberry milk. Pancakes.
Yeah. Nice.
With that in mind, let's talk about milk, and BUCS being proud to promote the Milk Every Moment campaign.
Milk provides high quality protein which helps support muscle growth and repair, and B vitamins to assist with energy release. A glass of milk is great for refueling and repairing those tired muscles after a physical match.
rising, outsider with a rebel yell. Push through the wind and the lightning, find the strength inside myself. Fulfill my destiny, leave it on the battlefield with the rest of me. I was born for this. It's how I was made, running through my veins. I'm here to stay, never gonna quit. I was born for this. I was born for this. Taking off the gloves, I've had enough, it's in my blood. I was born for this. 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 It's how I was made, running through my veins. I'm here to stay, never gonna quit. I was born for this. 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 Take these beautiful things that I've got. Think that I've got. These beautiful things that I've got. Think that I've got. These beautiful things that I've got.
We're at Loughborough University this evening for the final instalment of another thrilling year of BUCS Super Rugby. 17 rounds, 1,360 rugby minutes ago this league kicked off, and it all climaxes tonight with Swansea looking to save their BSR skins and Loughborough looking to lift the Super Rugby League crown once again. The final round of BUCS Super Rugby is underway. Loughborough hosting Swansea. Joe Plunkett, who saw yellow last week, sees only African violet from his throw. Where Swansea have failed, Loughborough have succeeded. The opening try of the match to the league leaders. Brian has a glance, goes wide, flipped out to Meredith. He hasn't got many friends around, so heads back towards the sanctuary of his forwards.
Oh.
And somehow, Morgan Meredith's gone all the way. There's a bit of width on offer here for Loughborough. Doyle working hard off his right wing. Doyle hitting the jets. Doyle refusing to go down. Doyle with a solo spectacular to bring up the bonus point. Meredith the Mercurial. What can't this kid do?
Having a pretty good half, Morgan. Seems to be finding all the right spaces and getting hands on the ball at the right time.
That's Temperley. Gawley. Shifting through the gears, Gawley. Won't have a Swansea fingerprint upon him. And a half century is brought up to the nailed-on league champions. It is Loughborough's night. They say here it's where history begins. Well, a new chapter in Loughborough students rugby has been written and history has been made with a second BUCS Super Rugby League crown. Peerless all season and worthy champions. A title triumph for Loughborough University. Without a shadow of a doubt and an exclamation mark, and seems to savour for that group of young men who've achieved something that very, very few teams have done in the BUCS Super Rugby era.
Hello and welcome back. We are here at Loughborough University for the Division I National Final for BUCS American Football. The Brunel Burners have traveled up to face the Northumbria Mustangs. The score right now is 10-6 in favor of the Burners. It looked like it might have ended up a pretty one-sided affair early on. We had a score from Brunel, then they went up again to make it 10-0. And they were knocking on the door within 5 yards of another score, but Ocon, the all-do-it-all Swiss Army knife for the Northumbria Mustangs, forced to fumble to stop that, and then later in the same half, caught an interception as a safety, ran it back 30 yards, and then the next play threw a touchdown pass. So Brunel out on top early, and then Ocon putting the team on his back to make this a 10-6 game. Mustangs set to kick things off. Brunel looking to get the ball back as they huddle up about 10 yards away from the ball. Now here we have comments. If you want to chime in, please do so. We love the conversation going on in the comments right now. People talking about the British-American game, how many different finals are going on today. And we have people in at least 4 continents watching. As this kick starts the second half, it is a high, short kick caught by one of the up men who's looking for a block. Doesn't really have any, but manages to get about 6 yards anyway. That's a good field position for Brunel to start. Looked like they're at about the 47 or 8. We had somebody ask about the midfield line in the comments. Why is the yellow line diagonal? Now, I have not asked the grounds crew this, but I'm going to take a wild guess. This is a rugby pitch. I know that one. That's not the guess. And they didn't want to paint the yellow line directly over the white line the whole way. So I've seen this before. When I was up in East Kilbride, they did the same thing on their ground. I think you basically paint it from one 49 to the other, and then you end up with a smaller amount of overlap so it doesn't hurt the white paint. That's my best guess. In any event, back to actual football. Handoff up the middle. That's going to be a good solid tackle by Northumbria. Yeah, that's a guess about the midfield line. Ultimately not that important. The main thing if you're Brunel is they're about to pass the midfield line if they can get a few yards. Diagonal or not, they are trying to get a first down and cross midfield. Loud cheering. You can tell the Mustangs, I think they did some coordination on the sideline. You can hear them doing defensive chants and making quite a bit of noise trying to upset the Burners. That is a flag, and he's rolling out. That's Zielinski. He's got a pass over the middle. It's going to be caught. He's hit. He's kind of been brought back eventually. You got to blow a whistle, and they do. Curious to see the flag. It looks like a little less excitement from the Burners, so they might assume it's on themselves.
Offside.
Nope.
Defense, number 8. The penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down Brunel.
Just calm and collected if you're Brunel. They didn't show a lot of excitement on such a big play, but they get the first down. That's an offsides penalty that's declined. So now Brunel is across that midfield line. And Brunel, I believe they're in their second running back of the rotation right now, and he goes out to the right as we get a pass that direction as well, and trucks his way forward for a nice gain. That's Tyrese Rettenham. Rettenham had a touchdown earlier in the game. And now he is getting another, I believe, a first down. Absolutely gorgeous day. It started out wonderful. It's gotten even better. Sun is shining, pretty clear skies as well. That recently rolled 3G looking fresh. I believe we have our 5th continent in the comments as Brunel comes out, bunch to the right, solo receiver to the left. Flip the back, hands off, fakes. That's going to be a deep pass out of bounds. So a lot of motion. Brunel loves moving things around. But an incomplete pass. They have set this up all day where they keep putting a bunch on one side, solo receiver on the other, and then they do some misdirection. And I'm just waiting for the time they do a quick slant or a fade to that receiver that's by themselves. And we have not seen that yet. They might be holding that in their pocket for later. Mustangs have made some adjustments on defense. They've evened out against some of the more common plays that we're seeing from Brunel. Still sticking with that too high safety, but I think they're moving things around a little bit underneath when there's motions. Zielinski rolls out to his right, has a completion, and he get the edge. He looked like he might have run out of space, but he tightrope walked down the sideline to get a big gain, bring it inside the red zone. That's Stuart Sinclair yet again, heard his name several times today. So just as I compliment Northumbria, the Burners find a hole in that defense on a crossing route, I believe. Trips again. That's a lot of field out to the left. 3 receivers to the right. And he does look that way. There's the solo, and it's incomplete. So they went the way I said they were setting it up. That is the way they went, but Northumbria sniffed that out. That's a nice defensive play by Chris Jambi. Back to the spread. Pinto in the backfield. Man in motion. Handoff that way, has some blockers in the open field, makes one man miss, but is then dragged down by his jersey. And yet again, that is Bergen for the Mustangs. He is really having himself a day on defense. Brunel taking their time in the huddle. Early days for this second half. Handoff up the middle. He's got a hole. He just truck his way forward. I think he was a little too downhill on that. Needed a little bit of wiggle left to follow the gaps formed by that O-line. As we see Zielinski looking towards the sideline, getting some signals from his coaches. Kind of moving around a little bit. I don't think it's much of a shift. It's just a realignment. Now we're moving around on some shift. Number 10's got some space. They threw a quick slant that way. Under center, Zielinski. That's going to be a bobbled handoff. Rolls out to his right. Looks to keep it. And does not get the edge, and that's Ocon right again. He is having himself a day. Punter, defender, touchdown thrower. Destroyer of the QB rollout. Not often you see a free safety or a linebacker with a hand warmer, but that's what you get when your starting QB plays defense. Still haven't gotten confirmation if it's O'Coin or Ocon. In any event, here's the rollout, and you can see him set the edge, get that nice contain, and a nice tackle to bring down the runner. Got to cover that. Got to cover that, and he did a really good job in pursuit. Mustangs with the ball in motion. Heels on their own end zone. Run up the middle, maybe a gain of 1. Brunel is up 10-6, of course. I will say they've now gotten the ball inside the 5 twice to not score. So looking to extend their lead and not quite able to do so. Bit of a low snap. Ocon looks out. He has a nice little hitch route completion. Receiver spinning around to gain some yards after the catch. That'll be enough for a first down. Big offensive line of the Mustangs trotting up to the line of scrimmage. Trips bunch. That's going to be an offsides or a false. Ooh, with the way that flag is, might be a false start instead. They got to talk about it. Who moved first? All right, I was looking at this guy. You were looking at that guy. Okay, but did he bobble the ball? Well, if he double clutched the ball, then that's on the offense. But if the defense is over the line to start, okay. Looks like it's on the offense.
Full start. Offense, number 17. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Well, that'll slow down the momentum a little bit. That's Morgan Dransfield for the Mustangs with the false start. One high look for the Burners. This will be a run up pretty close to the middle, and he's just kind of dragging defenders along. Everybody's pushing the pile forward, gets back the penalty yardage and then some. Mustangs taking their time. All the time left in the world, realistically speaking. It's just about who scores next. We're only about halfway through the third quarter. Second down for the Mustangs. A coin back. Claps to start this play. Does a quick pass out to the flat. And he makes one man miss, and he's going to keep going upfield. And that's might be enough for another first down. If not, it sure is close. That's Alex Timmons, who was hurt earlier in the game, but has come back in to make that play. And a big high five from his teammate and quarterback. As a fun fact, Timmons played defensive line in his under-19 days and then offensive line. And I believe he's also played tight end and wide receiver. So the Mustangs seem to do a really good job with these multifaceted players. Handoff. No, it's a QB keep on that read. Well, he's not going to like that book because whatever he read turned into a tackle for a loss. Nobody looks too winded. Everybody well-conditioned, still jogging up to the line. You'd expect that from two championship-level teams, both winning their respective halves of Division I this year. There's that trips bunch, top of your screen. Seen that time and time again, but Ocon's going to have to roll out of the pocket looking downfield. We had a man just could not drop it in the bucket. Threw it over Ellis Green. He's had a few of those today on these rollouts where if he could, he have to throw it up and then, land it correctly, but there were receivers open. Looking to his left, looking deep, and he has a man, and that's going to be another completion for a first down by Northumbria. It makes one tackler miss, and it takes 3 additional men to bring him down just outside the 50. Ed Thompson with the reception, and a nice placed ball by Ocon. I know I'm going to get direct messages after this game that I've pronounced Aaron's name wrong, and I apologize. Aaron's having himself an absolute day. Definitely MVP of the Mustangs so far. As they come out with trips at the top of your screen. Handoff up the middle. Finds a bit of a seam. Nice blocking by the Mustangs there for a gain of 6. Coin drops back, looks right, throws that over the head of his receiver. Ball bounces out of bounds. So that'll be 3rd and about 5, maybe only 4. As the stick gets moved and adjusted for 3rd down. Big Northumbria flags waving in the background here on this sunny day in Loughborough. Handoff up the middle, bounces it outside, going to turn it upfield. That's another 1st down. This turned itself into a really nice drive. That's Nathan Kell with the ball carry. He went up, found a gap, and then bounced outside just at the right moment to get a nice gain. Northumbria now inside the 40 as we see hand signals being sent in by the coach. Coin calling it in the huddle real quick. I think most people know that signal. Didn't have to say much. Trips bunch up top. New running back in, and he looks the Trips way. That's going to be batted by the defensive line. James Smith III with the defensive bat down. He's got big, long arms, and he exploded into the backfield and still made that play, even though he was probably trying to rush the quarterback initially, quickly read that it was a quick pass. And there he is. Stripes emblazed upon his white helmet. Scanning that offense right now. You see him reading, trying to make another play. Nice run with a pulling lead blocker for the Mustangs to gain a few yards. Third down. Northumbria taking quite a bit of time. I don't have a play clock on the field. It's been a while between plays. They're probably going to have to get a warning here from a ref. In our leagues here in the UK, refs give you a 10-second call usually. Scanning. Has to step up in the pocket. Makes the middle linebacker miss. He's got a lead block. Begging for a flag are the Brunel Burners, and they are not going to get it. Alcoin takes the lead on a massive QB run, not a designed one, mind you, but a scramble, made a middle linebacker miss, and then outran the defense. Now we'll see on the replay if the Brunel Burner had a right to complain. There was a lot of contact in terms of the receiver and the defensive back, but I don't know if it was holding or just pushing for 15 yards. Well, he's having himself a day. Touchdown pass, touchdown run, interception, forced fumble. Let's see what he can do here. This is O'Coin I'm speaking about, number 14 for the Mustangs. Rolls out to his right. Got a bit of a meshy concept. It's confused the defense, but he doesn't get the completion. Now, 7 was completely uncovered. Here is a replay of that touchdown. Stick your eyes to the left of the screen in a moment. But first, O'Coin's going to drop back. He's going to read this pressure and realize the middle of the field is open. Starts scrambling, makes the middle linebacker miss. And here on the left of your screen, is that a hold? Well, you tell me, comment section. Number 19 and the coach of the Burners certainly thought so. I saw a little cloth move, but I don't have the same close-up perspective if he was pushing back or pulling. If I'm a wide receiver there, I'm saying just get off the block better. But if I'm a defender, everything's, of course, everything's a flag, so. What do we see here, comment section? Well, based on the comments, I don't think people agree that that wasn't a hold. Here's a kickoff. Lower, longer, and time to return with a reverse for the Burners. And that didn't trick anyone. 22, Franklin Abizam making a tackle for the Mustangs. That reverse kickoff, we've seen it quite a bit. I know popularized by University of Nottingham and the Great Britain men's national team. I've seen that reverse kick return. Obviously, little iterations are different and stuff, but the concept of a handoff and reversing a kickoff. I think what happened, though, is a few years back, I think there was a clinic at a BAFCA conference, and somebody did a whole clinic on how to do the reverse kickoff, and now everyone's tried it. So everyone's kind of defended it at least a few times. Still catches some people off guard, but it's generally not the changeup that we once saw. Obviously, it takes certain execution as well to work, even if you do trick the other team. So we'll see how often that trends. This whole game is trends and copycats, and then you have to add wrinkles. You might add a reverse and then a fake reverse. You might bring in different blocking, and you evolve plays that work and then keep them trending. We do have an injury on the field. That's part of the reason for this delay. It's number 0 for, I believe, well, let's see, it's the Brunel's number 0, so that is Tyrese Peter Tovey, or Tovey. He is down. He's been down for a while, so hopefully everything's okay. Their medical staff is taking care of things. Well, as we do that, we'll talk about that touchdown. We've had people saying the refs are blind, and then we've had other people say there's no chance that's a hold, that's just blocking with love. So we'll see this again. You tell me, but makes that Mike linebacker miss. Look at the left side of your screen. This is the receiver, number 12. Does he pull? Honestly, I think he released, but I can see why there's a complaint there. If it was called a hold, I don't think it would have been egregious, but I can see why the ref didn't call it. And here we have 0 coming off. His shoe is off, suggesting it's probably a lower leg injury, but could be something else, of course. That's Tyrese Peters Tovey, I'm going to say. I don't have the spelling here, no pronouncing, sorry. He's coming off with a bit of assistance from the medical staff and sideline team. Burners getting ready, and that's the whistle, so the ball can now be snapped at any time. Spread receiver, back just behind Zielinski. Zielinski with a quick screen out to his left. Gain of about 5. That's how you want to start a drive. So Brunel now finds itself trailing for the first time. They're down 12-10. Northumbria has two touchdowns and no conversions afterwards. So that's how we end up with this relatively unique, or relatively rare, I should say, score of 12-10. Spread offense again for the Burners, but they have a man in motion. Run up the middle. He has a pulling guard, and that's going to be a big first down. That's a big block. I believe it was number 77 clearing the way. I'd love to see that play again. Unfortunately, I think there's an injury on that play. I think they had a pin and pull block with number 77 for the Burners coming around. Justice Okolo. I talked about him earlier in the game, and I think that they designed a play with him as the lead, pulling inside, which is nice. A little wrap. If you have a guy that size, go look at the left tackle. I mean, you designed some plays around that, and that's what they did in the last one. Another handoff up the middle, stopped better this time by the Mustangs. They did get a pancake on one defender, but they didn't block enough to stop that. Gain of only about 2. Northumbria getting very loud on these sidelines. I think they're starting to feel that momentum shift. It was stoppage by the officials.
That is the end of the third quarter.
With the end of the third quarter, we have the Northumbria Mustangs taking the lead to start the second half, now up 12-10 over the Brunel Burners. Going to move that ball about 8 yards. You got to flip the side of the field that you're on. The officials having a bit of a huddle, little herd of zebras around the 46-yard line. I know my accent's rather American. That'll never go away, and I apologize, but I do try to use the local lingo. I have lived here 12 years now. So we have zebras, not zebras. Brunel with 3 receivers up top. Zielinski scanning the field, looking for a hole in that defense. Quick swing out to the right. The blocker put his hands up to ensure not to get called for a hold, and then that's going to result in a gain of about 2. I've had someone ask me why it says BUCS Big Wednesday in all the graphics, but today is a Tuesday. That's because BUCS major event is called BUCS Big Wednesday. Most of the finals are tomorrow. American football is like almost the opener. And here we have Zielinski. He's got a ton of time in the pocket. He throws just at the feet of his receiver. He certainly had the time, but he just couldn't make the completion. And that's big frustration on the sideline by the Burners. He knew he could have had a big play there if that ball was just a bit higher. Fourth and about 6 for the Burners. Big decision to make on what they're going to do. They've moved the ball better than the score would suggest, because they've had 2 times where they've gotten inside the 5-yard line and then not scored. And so they're trying to find something here. I think they've brought in just a standard punt, no fakes or anything. That's going to be a deep kick. Rolling, it's end over end, and then a hard hit. That's a bold move to field that punt if you're the Northumbria returner, but good job. Number 26, that's Nathan Kell, running back, I believe. That punt actually rolled end over end. Sometimes the punt will go like spinning back. Kickoffs often spin backwards. Punts, it's a little different, especially when you hit the ball a certain way. And the ball was actually rotating forward as it went there. That's a very difficult ball to catch, and it makes the bounce a little bit different too. Handoff going across the body of the quarterback. Great tackles by the Burners. That's actually no gain whatsoever, and really good penetration by the defensive line. It's been an interesting trend in this game. Northumbria slowly seems to be making a few more adjustments than we've seen so far from Brunel, but Brunel still has plays that are working, so we got a lot of time left. Start of the fourth quarter. O'Coin was going to get sacked, but as he was getting thrown to the ground, managed to get rid of the ball. An incompletion means that it's 0 yards instead of negative. It's really been big plays by the Mustangs. We had that big interception return. We had the big touchdown pass for over 40 yards. We have a big run by a quarterback on a scramble. The Burners have moved the ball pretty consistently, but have not punched it in as many times as I'm sure they would have liked. So two very different types of ways to get to this close score. O'Coin looks out, 2 of the trips. Now he looks to the solo side. He's got a man deep. Can he get there? No. That man was double covered, and the ball went short. He's actually probably happy he didn't throw it deeper because it probably would have been intercepted.
Timeout for an injured player.
An injury on the field right now, so we'll have a bit of a pause. He's sat up, but on the ground. I believe that's number 10 for the Burners, so that's Jomi Stewart Sinclair being tended to as they tell him to lay down. Obviously, they got to go through all their checks and be thorough. That's what you want from a medical staff. We always thank the refs, and they deserve it for these games. Obviously, the game's not possible without the refs. I'd also say the medical staffs, they probably don't get enough thanks in the league. They make such a big difference, and also none of these games are allowed to go forward without them because you want to make sure players are okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get a correction. That's number 18, so that's actual Joshua Falad, and he's jogging off under his own power for the Burners, so he seems like he's all right. Punt block unit in for the Burners. Northumbria trying to flip the field. That's a low snap, and that's a good punt. Oh, wow. It was a very high punt, but it didn't go very far, actually. So Brunel's going to start inside Northumbria territory. That net punt maybe 15 yards. Better than nothing, but not as big as it first looked when it went so high in the air. It's all about angles. So how many games are you all tuning into today? Why don't you take a look at your schedule and let us know in the comments. We have 3 finals to watch. Obviously, this one's not done yet. Then we got 2 more. Great day for American football. As Zielinski does a quick pass out to his right, he's got a completion and trucks over. One man gets another. Now, we've heard this name all day. That's Tyrese Retnam, TD scorer and go-to receiver for the Burners. Now, Brunel's been here before. They just got to punch it in. They're almost in the red zone, or the red area, as famous NFL quarterback Tom Brady calls it. Bunch to the top of your screen. Running back set opposite that. He is the one who gets the ball, turns upfield, follows a nice block. Good gain on first down for about 6. Second down, about 5 or 6. Burners have a lot of beef in the box right now. Extra tight end and under center for quarterback. And he's going to hand that up the middle. bounces it outside. That's Pinto again. He did a few yards there. Quick to the line is this. Look at this. The Brunel center just barely even huddled. Now they're under center again. It's going to be another handoff up the middle, and this time for a first down. Pinto gets it. No attempts of that ill-fated tush push from the first half that we saw. I think a handoff up the middle seems to be the way to go. Little I-form, similar like action, or even just one back, and then from under center quarterback. Somebody's asked about field goal range. Obviously, that could be a factor. Brunel's only down by 2. Brunel's kicker has made 2 kicks. I would not say that they were kicks that would have gone in from past 30, but we'll have to see his leg if it comes up. Under center again. Lead block, but this time it's play action. A dart and a completion. He's just got to hold on to that and secure the gain. He wants a flag. He is going to get it. That's a bit of a surprise. That's Stuart Sinclair, frustrated earlier on the sideline when a ball went to his feet, but Zielinski happy to go back to that well and get a big first down, add on the penalty yardage, and now inside the 10 for Brunel.
After the play was over, personal foul and necessary roughness on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
I mean, I suppose by definition that did happen after the play. I would say it's more, I guess a late hit's after the play. You're saying the whistle was blown. The guy was standing, but he threw him to the ground after the whistle. That's why it's a penalty. And once the whistle's blown, you got to stop. Another handoff up the middle, got a lead blocker. I think he's in. Yeah, that's a touchdown. A nice little change of game plan for Brunel. Unfortunately, a man injured, so we'll circle back on that. But big number 7 for the Burners. That's James Smith III was the lead blocker on much of that drive.
And the result of the play was a touchdown.
We get a bunch of runs up the middle and then a few change of directions and a nice big pass. So it's a balanced drive for the Burners. And then unlike earlier in this game, they managed to complete the drive. We talked about adjustments earlier. We said that Northumbria had made some changes that slowed down some of the plays that Brunel had gone to. And then Brunel comes out with this under center look, which they had done a little bit of, but definitely this drive you can see that was a theme. And they brought in that nice fullback blocking with number 7 throughout that drive as well. So it's a change of pace, and now Northumbria have to see if they can respond. I love me some I formation. One of the best formations, really. You know, they say there's no I in team, but there's an I in win, and there's an I in I formation. Here is a replay coming up of that. Look at the left side. The lead blocked by number 7. And then a big push by that offensive line as well. By the time there's contact, that's already past it. That's a huge push by the offensive line, too. That's what you want to see if you're the Burners. Unfortunately, we have an injured player here on the field for Brunel. I believe it's one of their offensive linemen. I'll try to get a number when I can. Surrounded by medical staff at the moment. There's a lot of impacts on the offensive line and defensive line, and especially when you're running that power run game, I formation or offset I, you're going to have quite a bit of impact. So hopefully he's okay, nothing too serious. The comments have correctly pointed out there's also an I in milk, which I believe is one of the sponsors of today. We have I don't know if have we already played the sponsor for milk, or is that later? Yeah, so yeah, we're sponsored by Milk today, of course. You know, it's sponsored by a beverage. Did you know you could be sponsored not by a company, but by an actual beverage? It's really quite impressive. But yeah, there is an I in Milk. And speaking of Milk, why don't we hear from them right now?
Glasses of milk for everyone all around afterwards, I think, and you should be milking every moment, and that's what we're going to introduce. Milk Every Moment, a new campaign to help students understand the benefit of milk on their sporting performance. An affordable, natural, versatile and widely available choice after exercise. Milk provides a whole host of nutrients, vitamins and minerals to help fuel your workouts. A great option if you are on a budget.
What's your favourite recipe to make using milk?
Mac and cheese. I was gonna go with strawberry milk. Yeah, the next of it. Pancakes.
Yeah. Nice.
With that in mind, let's talk about milk, and BUCS being proud to promote the Milk Every Moment campaign.
Milk provides high quality protein which helps support muscle growth and repair, and B vitamins to assist with energy release. A glass of milk is great for refueling and repairing those tired muscles after a physical match.
And there we have Milk. See, they call it the original sports drink. I honestly can't hear the audio when they're playing the commercial. I'm going to assume they're going to talk about how it's great for hydration after exercise. Here we go. I might come back to our milk messages here for this Milk Every Moment. BUCS are proud to be promoting the Milk Every Moment campaign to showcase how milk's nutritional values can support student athletes in prep for their event or with recovery. So make sure to milk every moment. 7.2 grams of protein per 200 milliliter glass of milk. Now, that is a useful fact, but I have to say, who is drinking only 200 milliliters of milk? I mean, that's just embarrassing. 200 milliliters, my goodness. I'm looking at our producers over here, and I'm just like, how could you possibly have only 200 milliliters of milk? It's obviously a glass is going to be much bigger than that. Should be measured in pints, really. Several of them. That's my point. And here we have much more important news than my milk coverage is we have the Brunel injured player walking off with some assistance. Hopefully he's okay. Obviously it's the last game of the year. You want to be there as much as you can, and he was there for the scoring play. I still don't have a number because their arms are covered, and I apologize, but 62 I believe is who we have injured, and that is Ali Jawid, and he was there on the scoring play. And now we look for the conversion with a new formation. 3 lead blockers to left and a score. Brunel opening up their playbook. That's a heavy set. You've heard it called different things by different teams. Big thing is you get some upbacks, you get some linemen. They generally block in 2 different directions, and they open up a big lane. And that's exactly what happened on that conversion. If I had a co-host right now, this one I'd be telling them my parents live in Wisconsin. So that's why I'm so passionate about milk, honestly. It's not just the sponsorship. I mean, of course, you got to pay the bills, but also my parents are from Wisconsin. My whole side of the family comes from over there. So they're very big on dairy in those parts. Ironically, my wife can't drink milk. But I do, for the both of us. All right. No more milk, I promise, till we play another ad spot. Let's focus on the game. We have Brunel up 18-12 here in the 4th quarter. After an injury delay, we now are in the nitty-gritty. That's a deep kick. My goodness, that went faster than the camera could pan over. That was like double the speed of the last kick, and that's a touchback. Now, Northumbria, the Mustangs have put points on the board, but they've been through big plays. They had an interception and then followed that up with a deep pass. They had a scramble for a long gain. They have not exactly had sustained drives that took time off the clock and then scored. which is really what you want here, because if you're down by 6, you want to eat up as much clock as possible and then put 7 on the board. Because if you score, Brunel's got a pretty high-flying offense, and now they got this ground-and-pound run game. You don't want to give them the ball back with a chance to take the lead if you're Northumbria.
Timeout, Brunel. First timeout.
I think there must have been some confusion on the route because there was space. Trips at the bottom of your screen, running back along the same side. A handoff going the other way. Tries to cut it back, but cannot. That's a great play by Brunel's number 65. Is it 65? Must have that. 60, 55 maybe. 55, Jerry Otto. Really good play. Really nice stop there. You try to go back against the grain, and he just stuffed that up the middle. 2nd and 9 for the Mustangs. O'Coin looking, has some time, but he's got to roll out. He's being pursued heavily, and he's going to be sacked. That's a big, big sack by Brunel. Oh, look at him celebrating there. That's Ishan Namati with the massive sack. Ed Thompson probably would have been planted because he didn't have a chance to defend himself. Number 19 with the seatbelt sign, that's Nigel Kith for the Brunel Burners, saying he's locked down that offense. All right, now Northumbria does have to start worrying about time. They got to get this downfield. They always got to roll out, and that's another sack. That's another big sack, and that's Ishan Namati again. I'm sorry, I think it's Essen Namati. Essen Namati again with the big sack. He's had 2 massive plays on this drive, and Namati is just shutting this down. Northumbria is going to have to play some defense now and try to save the day on that side. So yeah, I'd love an MVP pick. You know, if you have any suggestions in the comments who you think has stood out. If you guys don't say anything, I'll probably end up giving it to an offensive lineman and you'll all complain. Brunel with another handoff up the middle, and he's going to bounce off one man, and he's going to keep running. He's going to take that inside the 5. And if they do manage to punch it in, it's arguably better that he actually got stopped because you get to take another minute or 2 off the clock. But they do have to punch it in. I have to say, David Pinto has really had himself a day, particularly when they switched to this under center run game. And that's a high ball. Forget the run game. Oh, no, he said he was out of bounds. Oh, that's going to be a heartbreaker for him. He looked like he had this game-sealing score. Of course, it was only first down, so they can still try again. But looked like it was going to have a highlight reel moment. Yeah, that was Thomas Hambleton who was trying to get that. Oh, yeah, I mean, to be fair, he was out of bounds. Under center again. That was the key call from an offensive perspective in the second half, and he's going to get in there. Oh, he did have to get around more people than I expected, but David Pinto in for the score to put Brunel up by 2 touchdowns, more importantly than just scores, here late in the 4th quarter. This change to this under center run game, as I said, they did it a little bit in the first half, but they really came into it here in the 3rd and 4th quarters. They managed to just power their way to victory. They mixed in enough passes to keep the defense honest, some really good throws to the credit of Zielinski, but I think Pinto has really been a key factor here in the second half. So a bit of an important conversion. Obviously, Northumbria would have to score 2 touchdowns to make this game competitive again. But
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still a try.
Offense gets a little more room to work with if you're an optimist. Pessimist might say you probably shouldn't have your conversion plays ready to go, but they're more worried about this kickoff, I think, coming up. So as I was saying, Brunel's now up 12. If they convert here on 2, they'll be up by 14. And that does make it an even 2-score with averaging conversions and extra points and things. It's a little different because obviously in our game, it's not really a given that you're going to go for 1, and it's not really a given you're going to get for 2. As we see here, low snap, bobbling off the ground, tossed up in the air and out of bounds. So no conversion for Brunel, 24-12 with 5 minutes and 18 left in the 4th. And here is that run. You get a motion, get an extra lead blocker pulling. I thought he was going to turn it up into this hole, but got met by 1 defender and then managed to go around the last man in the way. So really good job by David Pinto. And I want to give a shout out as well to James Smith III, who's been opening up these running lanes. The offensive line, there's too many of you to name, of course, as you know, that no one scores on the ground or in the air without the O-line. So good job by them with this ground and pound game. Now, behind me, you can't see me. I think you will at one point. There's a giant BUCS logo behind me on this big red canvas. I don't know if they have a camera that can show me at some point, but it's just giant BUCS canvas. That suggests to me at some point you might actually see my face, and I'll be happy I put on a shirt and tie instead of a T-shirt today. Yeah, everybody move your sandwiches out the way. We're going to be on camera at some point. Anyway, Brunel trying to seal this victory. Low kick, got to bounce off the ground. Clean catch by Northumbria, trying to make a play. A little bit of a block. It's a solid return. You'd be happy with that in most situations, except this one. Because when you're down by 2 scores, you need really big plays on special teams to close that gap quickly. So Northumbria, they've been this boom or bust offense so far. 2 big plays for scores. Not a lot in the drives department. Brunel done a good job apart, obviously, from those big plays, and that's what they're going to try to keep off the board here. Big pressure, rushing 5. Ocon scrambling around, and he's going to get sacked. Donald Orungo for the Brunel Burners with that sack and attack. So that's a loss of about 2 or 3. 2nd and down. As we get longer in the day, I think temperature actually becomes more of a factor than you would expect at this time of year. It's really quite bright. Some of these guys are looking a bit winded. Big rush again. They're sending a bunch of game on offense. I think David Pinto's had himself a game. Game on offense. I think David Pinto's had himself a game. Northumbria here with a big play. They have a lot of yards to kind of cover up, and that's going to be a fumble. It's a sack fumble, but it's recovered. Yeah, that's recovered by Brunel. Brunel having himself a strong 4th quarter. Now he's wearing number 70. I don't have a number 70 on my roster, so I'm sorry I can't give you a shout out, but good awareness.
Timeout for an injured player.
Unless that's 78. That might be Cody Braithwaite. If that is you, Cody, great job. Sometimes with the folds in jerseys, I have a little hard time, but I do think it's number 70. My roster has a 78, but no 70. Oh, wait a second. No, that's right. Yeah. Anyway. So we have an injury timeout. Alcoin, who's been the lifeblood of the Northumbria offense, defense, and specials as a punter, is not getting up right away. This might be a bit of a wait. folks. I think it's a lower leg injury or lower torso injury, and some of those can be a bit tricky, so you want to make sure you're extra careful. We might do some other shots or sponsors. Just as I say that, he gets up. But they were checking his knee. I think they're going to help carry him off like 1 foot and then limping on the other. So he seems to be getting up. Well, he's put in a shift. I mean, let's just talk a little bit about him. I mean, he's carried this team back-to-back promotions. Here they are in another final, and he plays offense, defense, and he's the punter. He's had a forced fumble. He's had an interception. He's had a touchdown run and a touchdown pass. From an individual effort, that's absolutely outstanding. Unfortunately, from a team effort, not enough for Northumbria so far. They'd have to have quite the dramatic comeback here. Brunel up 2 scores, and they have the ball. Bit of a slow snap, but the quarterback's kept it, and he's going to get another first down. No, in fact, it's not a first down. It's a fumble at the very end of the play that's been recovered by Northumbria. So Northumbria with a little bit of life here late in the fourth, down 2 scores. They need to get points on the board quickly. Defense does its job and gets the ball back. Problem? Who is going to lead the offense? Is it going to be O'Coin with a limping leg, or are they going to have to change things around? We'll take a look at that huddle and we'll see. Okay. I believe the QB is number 10. That's Alex Timmons. Now, he was also hurt earlier in the game, but later came back and made a catch as a receiver. So I believe he's now in at quarterback. And they have 2 running backs in the backfield with him. That's going to be a handoff up the middle. He's got some blocking, but he really can't find anything. And again, now you're down to someone who's not your starting quarterback. I mean, Alex is a great athlete, but I don't know how many reps he's had with the offense from terms of 2-minute drill passing game. That's usually not something you have backup quarterbacks do. So here is Northumbria, just under 3 minutes. Got the ball on a forced fumble and a recovery, trying to make miracles happen. 4 men in the backfield. The handoff up the middle, that's going to be stuffed by that Brunel defensive front. That's big number 70 again, making a play. Actually, here, it's out of numerical order. I do have it in. That's Adei Hakeem. Sorry, it was written down later on the roster, so it was out of order. But, yeah, he's been the one who's been eaten up for Brunel, that big number 70. So I apologize for earlier not having your name. Here it's written down. So Hakeem is the surname.
Timeout. My time. 2-minute warning at 2 minutes exactly.
We had a 2-minute timeout here, so as this game starts winding down, Northumbria's got to make some plays now and they keep fighting. As we talk about a little bit about MVP. Hold on just a moment here, folks. Sorry, folks, just sorting some admin as well. Obviously, we got to sort things, trophy ceremony coming up, game MVP awards and things like that. So trying to sort some admin out. It's wild with American football, the people you know when you've been around this game a long time. And I think for these university players, obviously everyone wants to end the year on a win. Only one team from each conference can. And so it stings. I've been there, and it's not fun. But over time, the good memories are the ones that stick around. as long as you know that you did your best and you were fighting hard and you got here on this pinnacle stage fighting in the finals and you're in a promotion. If you're Northumbria's case, we see a run up the middle and a nice tackle by Northumbria. Brunel don't have to do a ton, just run the ball 3 or 4 times, and then the game will probably be over unless Northumbria uses timeouts, which it does not look like they're going to do. So yeah, my advice for you all is after this we're going to watch the trophy ceremony. They're going to award the MVP here in a little bit. I recommend getting some lunch if you haven't already, and then packing down and getting ready to watch a bit more because we still have 2 national finals. Coming up next is the Premiership final between SGS and the SGS Pride and the Warwick Wolves. And then later tonight is the first ever National League final, and that's between the UWE Bullets and the University of Nottingham's Gold team. Here's a handoff up the middle, stuffed by Northumbria. Good fight to see everyone going towards the end, and a solid tackle by Dan Jones for the Mustangs. This clock's assuming no timeouts. I don't know if they have to do another play. They might have to do one more. No, I think they're just going to call it. The ref's got to do the maths, check their clocks. But
Timeout. Brunel. Second timeout.
Oh, okay.
29 seconds.
Assuming Brunel is not doing something like throwing a Hail Mary, I think they're probably doing this to substitute certain players in. When you know you're going to win, sometimes you do like victory formation. You might have like a team veteran or a captain, club president, players that have been on the team for a while. That's my guess. Or you just want to help them savor the moment and tell them to just stay calm. You got 1 play left, and then you win this game. That's, I think, what we're looking for. I'll have to see if they substitute anyone else in. What a great way to end the year for Brunel. They obviously fought very hard to get their way through the playoffs. They've had this outstanding season, and they cap it off with this big game where, to be honest, they started out, they had the first punch. Northumbria had this strong counter punch, and then Brunel made the adjustments it needed to. And their coaches and their players really stepped up, particularly. You had the run game powering through, and then a couple spot passes. And then this defense just absolutely shut things down. That switch to a 5-man front near the end really helped seal the deal. As we see Brunel, I think they're under center probably for a nice simple kneel down, and that'll be the end of the game. So handshakes around, and congratulations to the Brunel Burners, who in 25 seconds or so will be officially the Division I National Final winner. What a way to cap off the year for Team Brunel and the Burners. So you wait with anticipation. You can see them waiting for that referee's hand to go up and signal the end of the game. And that's it. Brunel have won as they celebrate.
That is the end of the game.
Pandemonium on the field. The bubbly has been popped. The Brunel Burners are celebrating as they should. Those smiles beaming bright in this Loughborough. As we watch this scene with the Brunel Burners defeating the Northumbria Mustangs 24-12 in the BUCS Division I National Final. Now here are the Northumbria Mustangs. A hard day and a hard-fought day for those Mustangs. A lot to be proud of, and then also still a promotion, I believe, for that side. So still things to celebrate in terms of results for the season, and then obviously all those players and the great experiences they've had, the growth that they've had, and those coaches as well. So their heads will be down for a while, but the pride will sink in, which is well-deserved. And it's a big turnaround, back-to-back promotions for Northumbria and the Mustangs. We're going to stick around a bit to see the trophy. being handed out. So first we have some handshakes and then trophy time, and we'll sign out after that. So, running order for today. We have quite a few games going on. Let me see here. Go down. SGS and Warwick are going to start warming up at around 1:45. That's kind of the expectation here. So after the trophy ceremony. And then after their warm-ups, they're going to do their walkouts there for kickoffs at 2 p.m. for SGS versus Warwick. Then after that game, there's another bit of a break, and then you get the National League kickoff at 7 p.m. tonight, and that's between UWE Bullets and the University of Nottingham's Gold team. So we're 1/3 of the way through a action-packed finals day for BUCS American football. Kicking off, opening these ceremonies essentially for BUCS Big Wednesday, which is tomorrow. American football is so big that they have to spill over into Tuesday, which is why you see Wednesday banners here on this Tuesday. It's not quite BUCS Big Tuesday, but it's American Football Tuesday. Let this breathe a little bit as we see these players with a good bit of sportsmanship doing their handshakes. We'll show you that trophy ceremony here shortly. So on the right side of your screen, you see those medals being prepared by the BUCS staff. And I believe those footballs are probably the MVP award, if I had to take a guess. Trophy as well there, of course. Northumbria showing class, clapping towards their opponent in the sidelines as well. It's a long walk. It's a long walk when you're on that side of the final and you get handed anything. And for the burners, it's not long enough, because they want to savor this. The burners doing a little bit of stretching and celebration. Apparently someone has done a backflip at one point. And some laying down snow angels in the 3G rubber crumb. Northumbria gathering together, recapping their season.
I need to ring my dad because he's a Newcastle fan and has been for 3 years.
The proud Brunel Burners, their coach surrounded by his players. He's helped lead them throughout this year. Now, first things first, you get the referees. If you officiate a game that is a final, you get a well-deserved medal. As we said earlier, you cannot have these games without the officials. And here we have awards being prepped. And there is your MVP of the day. That is James Smith III, who played fullback and defensive end throughout the day, I believe. Well, certainly played on defense. I don't know if they call it a back or an end. And he had himself an absolute cracker of a game. He ran around on offense, lead blocking on scores. He had defensive plays, and he helped spear that front that made so many big plays in the fourth quarter for the Brunel Burners.
didn't know if I clicked off anything.
So we have Northumbria getting their medals as well. I believe we're starting to wind down here, folks, as we see the sun getting close to right above our heads. The Northumbria Mustangs getting their medals for, well, some would say second place is the focus. I would say it's also a medal to signify your season so far and the promotion that you've earned in this case, winning your half of the UK and then participating in this grade final. We see the last few medals placed on the Northumbria staff and players. And now Brunel Burners coming down to get their medals for winning the BUCS Division I National Final. Brunel surrounding that medal stand, gathering together for a nice photo opportunity. Smiles from ear to ear, medals clanging against teeth as they bite those victory ornaments they have hanging. Look at that gold. Matches well with that Brunel yellow and blue. As the last players trickle in and receive their medals. And there they are, the proud coaches, proud staff of this team, getting ready to celebrate with their players. And there you have your 2024 to 2025 BUCS Division I champions. The Brunel Burners.
Fantastic final, and we will see you again next
And I'll say goodbye for the first time today from this national final for Division 1 with the Brunel Burners celebrating the massive win.
Next up is the BUCS final, and that kickoff is in around about 45 start.
Football America UK, your ultimate destination for all things American football. Visit our Midlands-based showroom to try on and get fitted for the latest gear. Or shop online for a huge range of equipment, NFL merchandise, and personalized teamwear stores. Plus, with Klarna, ClearPay, and PayPal Pay in 3, getting the gear you need has never been easier. Get game ready with Football America UK, in-store or online at footballamerica.co.uk.
Glasses of milk for everyone all around afterwards, I think, and you should be milking every moment, and that's what we're going to introduce. Milk Every Moment, a new campaign to help students understand the benefit of milk on their sporting performance. An affordable, natural, versatile and widely available choice after exercise. Milk provides a whole host of nutrients, vitamins and minerals to help fuel your workouts. A great option if you are on a budget.
What's your favourite recipe to make using milk?
Mac and cheese. I can go with strawberry milk. Pancakes.
Yeah. Nice.
With that in mind, let's talk about milk and BUCS being proud to promote the Milk Every Moment campaign.
Milk provides high quality protein which helps support muscle growth and repair, and B vitamins to assist with energy release. A glass of milk is great for refueling and repairing those tired muscles after a physical match.